Welcome back everyone to my Hearts of Iron 4 modding tutorial series. Before we start anything, I just want to apologize for my lack of content recently. I've been kind of busy, but hopefully I will get the rest of them out soon. There are not many more we have to do, and today we will actually be looking at how to do leader portraits. There are a few things you're going to need. You're going to need, of course, all the modding tools you had from before, as well as you'll need to use GIMP this time, and any other image editing softwares that could export in specific file formats, which I'll get to later. But first we have to take a look at this leader. This leader, that portrait that I am using right now, is actually from Rome Total War. But before we could use it, first we have to work on the size. So I'm actually just going to edit this in Paint instead of GIMP. I don't know why. I just like to do this stuff in Paint before I go into GIMP. But pretty much what you got to do is you got to change it to 156 by 210 pixels. And God, that is scary to look at, but you know what? We'll just have to stick with it. Once you have that done, save it, and then bring it into GIMP, unless you're already doing it in GIMP. In that case, keep it as you were. Alright, now there's a couple things you can do in here in GIMP. For example, you can go into, I believe it is filters, and you could sharpen it. There's actually, if you go under the artistic tab, there's a cartoon option, and that is how you can make photographs look more like the portraits in Hearts of Iron. So if you want to make it match the other portraits, that's how you do that. But I think I'm actually just going to keep it how it is. What you really need to do is you need to, once you have everything done, you can just play around. You need to export it. We'll just call it tutorial leader. Oh, you're going to change this .gif or .gif, whatever you call it, and .tga. You need to export it as a TGA file. So tutorial leader.tga. Export that. Turn off RLE compression. I do not believe this is as important for leader portraits, but once you get to flags, that will be very important. Something else you might notice is other tutorials. If you've watched other tutorials, they'll tell you to do .dds for your file format. However, TGA works fine as well, and you don't have to download any extensions for TGA to work. So we'll export that. You'll see we have another one called tutorial leader.tga. That is all we'll need from there right now. Now we're going to open up our Hearts of Iron 4 folders. As you remember, we have our tutorial mod right here in the Hearts of Iron files right here. So we're going to need to create a new folder in ours called GFX Graphics. We're going to go in there, and I believe we need one called, yep, Leaders. And within there, I'm just going to create one called tutorial. Now it is within here that we are going to put our leader. Now remember the file path it takes to get here. We are now going to go to our history, go to our country history, and we are going to go down here to our country leader. So we kept this here from last time. So create country leader. We're going to call him Mr. Tutorial. Description. This specific leader does not have a description, so we are not going to worry about that now. Portrait. Now this is important. We are going to turn it into GFX slash leaders slash tutorial slash tutorial leader. Make sure everything's spelled right. .tga. And then down here is when they die. But We're not going to give him any death. Down here you'd put traits. For example, I believe Theodore Roosevelt dislikes Germany as his trait. So if you want to put a trait down, there's a separate file for traits, but we're not going to get into that for now. If you really want to take a look at how to do it, just let me know in the comments. I can make a separate video about leader traits and all that stuff. And if you wanted to create another country leader, all you do have to do is copy it over and start a new one. It'll start from the top down, and then you also want to keep their ideology. So we start neutral, and despotism is a neutral ideology. So we're fine, but let's say we were democratic, we could put liberal. We're gonna keep despotism, or I believe it's liberalism actually, but yeah, that's all we'll need in there. Let me just make sure I got that file path correct. That would be awfully embarrassing if I got that wrong. So GFX, leaders, tutorial leader.tga. All right, we got that. Now we can open up Hearts of Iron 4. Well, the game just crashed. So if you're working along with me there, I apologize for that. Let's take a look at what might have gone wrong there. Last I remember this mod worked. I guess it has been a quick minute. Let's take a look. Alright, so I've been looking around and I honestly do not know what went wrong there. Obviously, I think with the last update, there's an update in between the last video, they changed something. Perhaps when you create mods, a new folder is created that mine does not have. Whatever, or maybe at some point I changed something and I just don't know. But if you were to follow the steps that were in this video, it should work. All the other videos, what I do in those, they should also work. Just something to do with the update messed up the mod. I'm sure that's all that happened, because I was looking through. There's nothing that would have changed that to make it break like that I just did right now. Because it loaded the portraits fine if you were to look at the loading status that says at the top screen. So let me know in the comments if your mod has similar problems and trying to follow these steps, and maybe I did do something wrong. That often happens in programming. But I want to thank you for coming and watching the video, and I also want to thank you all for the support you've given me. The next video will hopefully be on flags, which I've been putting off for a while now, because I honestly hate doing flags. Not that it's hard or anything, it's just annoying. But yeah, I don't know when that video will be out. Hopefully sooner than later, and not another month like these last ones. But I'll try my best. Thank you for watching. See you next time.